Hello, welcome back, Bullet Bears. I hope that you're ready for another week of art. Today's lesson, let me pull up my screen. See here, okay? All right, we are in week 5, and it's the week of September 21st. I hope that you enjoyed last week's lesson when we did something about desserts. If you haven't had a chance to finish that, please do so. Okay. Today's I can statements. I can create original art that expresses emotion and how I feel. I can create a monster drawing using shape, color, and pattern. Now that sounds fun. Okay, today what we're going to do is real quick review the rules and expectations. Reading of the book Glad Monster, Sad Monster by Ed Emberley and Anne Miranda. And look at how shapes, color, and pattern are used in art. And there'll be a quick demo, and then you're off to make some art. Okay, let me get this a little bit larger. Yeah, there we go. Okay, art room rules. Attitude is a choice. You need to be positive about what you're doing. So don't be mopey. I want to see some positive attitude. Respect everyone and try your best. Don't forget to view this video and complete the assignment and submit your assignment to Mrs. Turner via Class Dojo, Google Classroom, or email at eturner@ecps.us. And for you guys, that would be Seesaw, okay, instead of Google Classroom. Okay, offline learners will turn in your art to the school when you get your new flash drives. Okay, let me get this up and running first. Okay, this is our story, Glad Monster, Sad Monster. Hold on, let me get some sound.
A Book About Feelings by Ed Emberley and Anne Miranda. The yellow monster says, opening birthday presents, playing ball, slurping ice cream, and dancing with my friend make me glad. The red monster says, being bugged by a bug, getting splashed, being laughed at when I fall down, and having someone knock over my blocks make me angry. The pink monster says, making valentines, rocking baby monster, baking muffins with Grammy monster, and hugging wiggly puppies make me feel loving. The blue monster says, waving goodbye, watching my snow monster melt, losing my big blue balloon, and having it rain on parade day make me sad. The orange monster says, listening to a terrible thunderstorm, imagining what's hiding under my bed, seeing little creepy crawly things, and being chased by grumpy growly things worry me. The green monster says, growling, showing my sharp white teeth, waving my hands in the air and saying, shoot, shoot, and boo, boo, make me very scary. The purple monster says, being upside down, making funny faces, wearing big monsters' clothes and goinking around make me feel silly.
Amen. I love that book. Okay, and we're going to do a quick review before we talk about it. Okay, what is shape? Shape is the outline of an object and is an element of art. Remember, we talked about elements of art are the ingredients, what goes into the recipe that makes up the art. And pattern is repeating shapes, colors, lines, or symbols. Remember this? We talked about principles of design works together with the ingredients and elements of art, and pattern is one of the principles of design. Now, let's look at some examples of basic shapes. In the story, you saw some monsters that had some of these shapes the in their body, on their face, like circle. And I've got an example here of a circle. It's a clock. And a circle looks perfect, doesn't it? A square, which is another shape, which has straight lines. It uses straight lines, whereas the circle will use curved lines. And it also looks equal on each side. And here's an example, a checkerboard. If some of you have ever played checkers, that's a checkerboard. And it's a pattern also. Triangle. Now, a triangle has 3 sides. We'll count them 1, 2, 3, and they're equal too. And when we look at the triangle here, we see a sign, a street sign. It's a school crossing sign. Another shape, it's kind of like a circle because they use curves, right? But it kind of looks like a circle that's been stretched out. And here's an example. It's a ring. Isn't it pretty? That's an oval. A rectangle. A rectangle is almost like a square, but what do we notice? The sides here are shorter than these sides. So it kind of looks like a square that's been stretched a little bit. And here's an example. The window, that's the shape of a rectangle. Now, this one's a little tricky, but you probably have seen this shape a lot, like on another street sign. This is a bicycle in the middle, but this is a diamond shape. And the diamond almost looks like a square that's been tilted on its side and kind of stretched out a little bit. Okay, so those are some basic shapes. We're not looking at all of them, just some of them. Now, the basic shapes that we saw, they had straight edges and they had curves. Now, these are examples of organic shapes. And what do you notice with these? Well, they kind of got lines and curves that aren't equal, kind of like this blob of paint, a leaf, swirls, even like a starfish doesn't have equal sides, right? So organic can be kind of irregular, not necessarily equal on any side, but it can involve curves or it can involve some straight edges too. Now, here are some examples of faces, kind of like we saw in the book. And you see the ovals, like the nose, circles for the eyes, triangles for teeth. And you've got these organic shapes that they created the hair, little squiggly lines that are filled in. And notice that bright color. We saw bright colors that were used in the book. Now, We're going to watch a really quick demo, and it's going to show you a way that you can draw the face. Okay, now you will create a monster face using color, shape, and pattern. And it will also show emotion, like how you feel. You saw some of the monsters were sad, and some of them were very glad and happy. And I'm going to show you some of the ways to draw it. Now, these are not finished drawings, but it's just showing you how to get started. And you're going to add lots of color to it. So your art does not have to look like mine, and you may use crayon, marker, paint, or whatever you have at home to decorate. So let's pull this up. Okay, here we go. You could use a plate, but here's an example of a drawing. But I could use like a plate like this and trace it on my paper. Now don't make a tiny drawing. You want to see a big face. Okay, so I traced the entire circle. And in the center, I started with the nose. The eyes are circles. And I kind of made some curves in there to create the eyes and some ovals, some more ovals for the eyes. Let's see if this is going to be a happy one or a sad one. And I got some organic shapes for the hair. And I even gave my monster some antenna on top of his head, almost like you see like bugs or grasshoppers. And let's see, what I'm going to do with this is trace a circle. You don't have to trace circles. You could do it freehand, which means you don't have to trace around shape. Does it look like a surprise monster? With rectangles, I can give it some teeth. And I'm using ovals again for cheeks. And I could give it a neck, maybe a shirt. Almost looks like it's a monster that's singing or surprise. Now let's look at a different way. For some of the older kids, I'm going to show you how you can trace or you can draw a monster with a little bit more detail. Okay, you can make this a boy or a girl. I start with the nose. Again with the eyes, you see the circles and the oval. And I did some different eyebrows. He looks kind of like, what is he thinking? Oh, he must be a sad monster. Or he's thinking really hard. And they can have a long neck or a short neck. These monsters don't have to necessarily be in proportion. They don't have to be perfect. I'm using rectangles for his suspenders and circles for the buttons. And remember, I'm drawing this upside down, so it's kind of hard to do it. And again, some more organic shapes. I want you to have some fun creating. Oh, I gave him some antenna too. I forgot about the antenna. You don't have to do antenna. And I used a diamond. Remember how I said that it's kind of like a square that sits on its side? And you can do some patterns on a shirt. Okay, so that's my little demo. Okay, now you're going to create a mustard face using color. I want to see color in yours. I didn't color mine, remember? You could do pink, you could do green, you could do blue, you could do purple. You can make parts of his face different colors, like purple monster with a green nose. But you're going to use color and shape and pattern as well as emotion. Make me see what your monster is feeling, if it's sad or if it's happy or if it's yelling. Okay, online learners must take a picture and post to, like I said, Seesaw or Class Dojo or email it to me. Okay, and there's my email address. Offline learners must turn in their finished artwork and then return to school to pick up another flash drive. You'll return your artwork. So if you have questions, please feel free to email or call me, and there's my number. If I don't answer, you can leave me a message and I'll get right back to you. Me get my face up here so you can see me again. Okay, so you got some work to do, and I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you enjoyed the book, and I can't wait to see your emotional monsters. Okay, you have a great week and go.